he was suffering from sleep loss, and the fights put him out. So let's see. Let's talk about the fight saga. So, for the sake of the people that were around me, that are not all MMA guys, everybody's a casual boxing fan. Everybody out there is a casual boxing fan, right? And because everybody's out there casual boxing fan, I said I'm not gonna push to watch MMA, which I knew was gonna be a more exciting fight. I've been saying it all day, right? I've been saying it all weekend. I've been saying, dude, I was saying on Friday. I think I said in the Discord, they don't smell blood in the water. They don't go for the kill. Just a week ago, we saw Chris Eubanks Jr. against Conor Benn, a fight that probably wasn't supposed to be as fun as it was. You know what I'm saying? That was a fun fight. They went after it. They left everything out there. Salute to them. Two guys that are not holding belts. Two guys that are not in their divisions. They went out there and they fought like they were hungry. They went out there and fought like they had a problem with the motherfucker across from them. And then, boom, Friday comes around. I think I'm traveling when the fights start. It was billed as 3 main events, okay? Haney versus Ramirez. Lopez versus Barboza. And Garcia versus Rolly Romero, okay? And you think to yourself, coño, man. That's going to be a barn burner, huh? Everybody's going to throw hands. Everybody's going to try to be the champion. Oh, these are the guys that are always fighting each other, talking shit to each other. Oh, this is going to be great, right? And everybody's defending boxing to me all the time, which you don't have to, because you have to understand. I'm a boxing fan. I'm a basketball fan, just not of today's game. I don't want to watch no fucking LeBron James crying on the floor like this, looking at his eyeball. I mean, looking at it through his hand to see if the ref is watching him fake it all over the floor. I don't want that. I don't want to see that. That's not for me. That's not what I want. Like Allen Iverson would say, that's not the game that I love. Practice? We talking about practice or we talking about the sport that I love? Boxing is not a game. But I already had jokes before this set of fights happened. You could ask also, or whoever I talk to about fights in text on the internet. You know, you'll see it. I said these guys don't got the killer instinct. These guys forgot how to go for the kill. You rarely get the shit that you get between Chris Eubanks and Jr. and Nigel Conor Benn. Those fights. That's why I hold certain fights in such high regard. Fights like Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti. Guys that didn't have to take themselves to the brink, but did, because that's what the fuck we are there to see. That's what we're there to see as combat sports fans. And that's what you promised to us as fighters and promoters. They straight robbed the turkey. That's how I felt that too. Turkey walking around like he the man. Meanwhile, they lubing you up, bro. Thought it was Dancing with the Stars this past weekend. It was, coño, what the f*** did people pay for? I'm not one of these casual fans that expects you to be on point every night. I'm not. Everybody has a bad day at work. Everybody has a day where they're not feeling themselves. But I wasn't convinced. I was like, I don't know that we're going to see too much crazy shit. Listen to me about this. The press conferences ain't even entertaining me no more. Their shit is horrible. I already had no hope, no faith. I thought there'd be exciting fights, but I knew there wouldn't be no finishes. I doubted finishes. I lean more to decisions always in boxing because these guys don't look like they want to hurt nothing. The press conference is not even exciting. Because first of all, their trash talk is garbage. Garbage. Their slick talk is shit. They're not funny. Sometimes Rolly is. Sometimes all of them are. But you got to go through piles and piles and piles of shit to get to something funny, something dope. So the other day, they were doing all this press, and all they were doing was telling each other to shut the fuck up and fuck you and I don't give a shit. I don't buy it. Then fight day happens. The first fight day, Friday. Unprecedented card, supposedly will never be done again. Another banner of the money that the Turkey's spending. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. Another banner of the money that Turkey's spending. Live, invite only, Times Square, New York City. Outside. All right, cool. And aside from probably Teofimo, who put a little bit of, sazon on his performance, it's a fucking shit show. It was a shit show. Everybody decided to have a bad day on the job. Rolly the only one that went in there and actually did work. I saw the heavyweights. The heavyweights went to a draw. There was two other draws. There was another draw too. Like, it was mad draws. Shit was crazy, dog. Shit was out of line. You can't have a bad day when you get in the bag and you have 30 million viewers. You can't, right? But you don't control that. Because if you get up and you just don't feel the pep in your step, then you're going to take a beating. Problem is if the other guy fucks up and doesn't do nothing, then you both look fucking stupid up there. He should have took advantage of your bad day and beat your ass. If you're going to have a bad day on the job with all this money on the line, should have got your ass whooped. But to have a bad day on the job and not get your ass whooped, that's crazy. Every fighter went home feeling good. No bruises. Everybody was nice. Everybody's face was okay. Everybody feel amazing. Sheik's spending the bag. You know how much money he's giving these jerk-offs so that they could run around and show each other's chains and talk shit to each other? A lot of money, man. Oh, we haven't even got there yet, JP. We're going to get there. I feel like the Cuban who fought Canelo threw the fight. That guy was undefeated, 23-0, 11 KOs. His chance to capitalize against Canelo and make a name for himself, yet he danced the entire time. And did it proudly. Did it like he was doing some cold shit. What fucking world do I live in? It's quite possible, JP. You never know. Upper Echelon said we expect from people who get hit. We expect that from people who get hit in the head for a living. What? To be witty, smart? Yeah, there's a lot of fighters that are. You know what we expect? We expect the promotion to get shit under control and make their product look good. If I'm not even interested in the press conference anymore, and then you give me three main events that you've been selling as this 3 main event, historical, in the middle of Times Square, and those suck, and the press conference suck,
no mommy's wait.
Stop it. Ref had to tell him multiple times to fight. Ref was out of pocket. Ref should have done that shit in the 4th round. Timidity. If you got to take a point, take a point. Should have done it in the 4th round. Nobody did their job. That's my point. Everybody fucked up at the same time. It's his style, JP. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that guy. Oscar said the same thing. You knew what that dude was going to do. The thing with that dude, Primo, is that dude was too proud of that performance while he was doing it. He was you don't come out to Celia Cruz Carnaval and then you switch to the German national anthem. That's where he had me fucked up, and that's where I was done right there, all right? I checked out at that moment. The only decent fight was Rolly's comeback. Rolly did his thing. Yes, Jonathan, they still didn't fight. Ref should have did that shit in the 4th round. But that's just in that fight. We haven't even got there yet. We're going to get there. I mean, at least earn the money and get your ass whipped. Yeah, that's the thing. But that's on the other guy, upper echelon. You can't whoop your own ass, right? So that means there was 2 failures at the same time. The guy who's having a bad day, he should have got his ass whooped. The other guy fucked up too. Saudi Arabia wasn't a sellout. And that was my point of bringing up the Times Square thing when you mentioned it. When you mentioned this part about Saudi Arabia. These guys they're just putting money out there, bro. These guys are basically got a big bread and they want to see the fights they want to see every weekend in their living room. That's it. That's what they want to do. Turkey wants to be able to walk up and tap on the apron while the guys are fighting. He wants that freedom. That's what they're doing. Profit down the line. We'll worry about profit down the line. Right now, we throw this money. And that's what they've been doing, throwing money, right? Throwing money. And guess what? Everybody just walked off with their fucking money this weekend. Even Canelo. Everybody just walked off with their money this weekend. He said, yep, he was proud. He thought he was winning. He was a jerk off. He was a jerk off. Canelo stopped at the end and was like, what the fuck was that? And dude was like, Canelo, you see what I did? I survived you. Beautiful. Hug me. What? I was conflicted when I saw the Cuban flag. Then I heard the Germany. They even made 24 karat gold belt from England. That Ring Magazine belt looks like shit. Oh, 100% gold. I don't give a shit. The band on that belt, the strap on that belt is garbage. Fake ass belt. That's what it looked like. But anyway, I digress. I hope Canelo fights Benavidez after Crawford. I don't know. I will say this. The Devin Haney Ramirez fight broke some records. Canelo was pissed. But guess what, upper echelon? He wasn't pissed enough to tie him up, to dirty box with him. He wasn't pissed enough to cut the ring off on him and trap him. He wasn't pissed enough. He was getting his check too. No? Facts. The Rocky Prop belt looked better. Even the dude presenting the belt flopped it. He took a long ass time taking it out the box. Listen, that's what I love about Dana White getting involved. Dana White gonna put an end when it comes to if they do what they said they're gonna do together as a company. All of this national anthems and Turkey getting an honorary belt and Turkey coming out. Turkey does not know how to run the show. Turkey don't know how to run the show. In the sense of the TV, the product. He goes up there and he's like, okay, you win the fight, Canelo. Okay, come here, Crawford. Come here. Crawford. Crawford comes. And then we're going to have Canelo versus the Crawford. It's like they forget Bud's name and shit. Right? He's not good at that. All this, let's invite the Turkey into the ring to get this honorary. Dana gonna be like, get that shit the fuck out of here. Fight, and then the next fight, and then the next fight, and then the next fight. Let's get this pace going. Enough with the bullshit. Shout out Jacqueline on the check-in. He was running too fast. He was proud of his running skills in that fight. But guess what? Who ran more? Should we put up a poll? Because y'all probably didn't see. Everybody who saw the Canelo fight didn't see the Haney fight. Who ran more? Haney and Ramirez? Or Canelo and fucking Scull? Canelo should have hung on dude. I would have put my weight on him. I would have trapped him in the... Just whatever you got to do to make a fight. Again, Canelo don't have to, right? He's the champ. All his belts were on the line. So he's happy to just wait for this asshole to do something. He got charged with a low blow. Oh, he was crying to the ref, too? Oh, that dude was disgusting to me, dog. Disgusting. In my opinion, I felt like he respected his patience because if he would have ran after him and then made him... Oh, no, that's the thing. It's the fear of the mistake. It's the fear of why do I risk the biscuit for a dude that don't want to scrap with me? Because, yes, el valiente muere cuando el cobarde quiere. Canelo could have easily charged after him and then got caught on his shit. And we have the biggest upset in the history of boxing. That's not what happened. You know? That's not what happened, but you're right. Why go in there and risk that happening? This guy don't want no piece of me. You know? But I think Canelo, if he wanted to scrap, if he wanted to go out there and put an ass whooping on this dude, he could have cut off that ring and he could have stopped him, or put his weight on him, or he could have mixed it up. There was no mixing. It was just flat-footed. It was Periquito Ping Ping dancing all over the fucking ring, twinkle toes, and then it was Canelo. You know, why do more than I have to? So you're right. Why do more than I have to? That takes two to tango shit. Now, if he was an up-and-comer, I get it. You know, you jump on a dude, put your weight on him, bully him, try to create something different, create opportunities in the fight. There was nothing different. I was defending the fight in the fourth round saying, nah, they just downloading each other. At some point, Canelo's going to turn the gas on, and then shit never happened, man. Turkey spending a lot of bread, though. He even bought Ring Magazine from De La Hoya for 10 mil. Haney needs a clown mask from the bartender with his goofy ass. That's exactly what happened. That's why Canelo was not cutting the ring off. It was still an upset. Yeah, I was upset. Everybody was upset. In my opinion, who's going to want to fight a boxer that just runs and doesn't fight? That guy, nobody's going to want to fight that guy. Nobody wants to watch him, that's for sure. You want to watch him? I don't want to watch him. Hell no. I don't want no parts of dude. No way. Leave me out of it. So they broke a record, y'all. What was it? It was the least amount of strikes landed in a 12-round fight. That's a foul-ass, disrespectful record. And Bill Haney, shut the fuck up. Shut up. All the fathers, shut your mouths. Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez sets unfortunate punch record in Times Square fight. Devin Haney won a unanimous decision over Jose Ramirez on Friday night in Times Square. The fight scored at 119-109, 119-109, 118-110 was a forgettable bout. However, in fact, the two boxers set a record for the least punches landed in a 12-round fight this year, while also being the fourth fewest punches landed in the 40 years. CompuBox has been tracking fights. CompuBox debuted in 1985. They are number 4 for the fewest punches landed in the last 40 years. Que bochón, coño, man.
No.
That's crazy. That shit is crazy. Per CompuBox, Haney and Ramirez threw just 110 punches between them, with Haney landing 70 and Ramirez landed just 40. I expect that from me and you in a street fight. I don't expect that from professional boxers. Haney landed 25 jabs to Ramirez's 23, and he landed 45 power punches to Ramirez 17. Que bochorno. Coño, man. It's ugly, man. Like a bird. Haney took control early on, and his moving and clinching was consistent through much of the fight. It looked as if Ramirez struggled to keep up. Haney landed more punches as the fight progressed. Thought it wouldn't be enough for him and Ramirez to avoid the undesirable record. I thought that shit was going to be a bullshit draw. Devin Haney beats Jose Ramirez by unanimous decision. Bullshit. Shit was huff. I thought Canelo was going to save the day. I was disappointed in not watching the MMA fights, man. I was out of pocket for that. And then Teofimo, he was doing his thing. And then these fools drove a Batmobile for like 30 minutes. Dana White would have thrown that fucking Batmobile in an alley. Let's go listen to what Tim Bradley had to say about it. I think from now on, they put in their contracts that if they don't fight, they only get half what they're supposed to get. This is ridiculous. Well, people complain about the UFC, but that's already in the contracts for a lot of people. For most of the people, they get half and half. You get half to show up and half to win. The loser don't get that winning bonus. You just get show up money. It's going to follow them all their lives in their career. That Cuban dude, never want to see that dude fight again. These guys, is there hope for these guys? I guess, but they seem a little spoiled. They seem a little pillow-handed, don't want to touch each other, want to talk all that shit for months on end, and then...
Fight Hub TV here with the Hall of Famer, one and only Tim Bradley. Tim, big showdown last night, Times Square. What'd you think about the whole fight? What'd you think about everything?
What did I think about what?
What'd you think about Times Square last night? You got the Devin Haney, you had Ryan Garcia and Rolly fight. A lot of stuff going on in the boxing, huge weekend.
It underwhelmed, man. I was pissed off after watching that. You know, and if I was pissed off, I know all the fans are pissed off too. I'm talking about pissed off. I was pissed off to like almost like I felt like I was insulted last night after watching that. I felt like I was insulted. You know, I was disappointed in each guy's performance, man. I was so disappointed. I thought all of them was whack. All of them. Every last one of them. I didn't see no hunger in these dudes, man. No hunger. Only there for the money. See, that's the problem. That's the biggest problem with today's boxing, man.
Gotta go downstairs.
That's the biggest problem, big dog. I gotta go downstairs.
Let's go this way.
That's the biggest issue with today's fighters, man. All these guys, man, everybody looking to line up and get that big paycheck, bro. That's it. They not looking to add to the sport. They not looking to add to any kind of legacy. All they want is the big paycheck, and they willing to do whatever they want to do whatever they need to do to get it. And that's the biggest issue, bro. No heart, no passion. Yo, where the Barboza? What the? Like, are you kidding me, bro? You've been waiting 12 years for this fight. You've been calling for this fight, bro. 12 years. And you put up that type of performance, bro? Like, are you kidding me? Come on, man. That's shameful, bro. That's shameful. 1, 2. You got who else?
Bernardo.
Who else? Oh,
You got Ryan Garcia and
hold on,
Rolly.
I'm trying to. No, Ryan Garcia, same thing. Ryan Garcia ain't no true fighter. He's not no true fighter at all. It's so ironic, right? It's like how one didn't even train, or not I want to say train, but that whole year off, you had one that was rehabbing, the other one that didn't rehab, he put on the shit show too. Haney put on the shit show. Ryan put on the shit show as well. But Haney was supposed to be going back to the drawing board, getting better.
Bush.
Did you think he got better? Absolutely not.
Mosley to the team, all
Bro,
that shit.
Bro, Bill Haney exerted more energy talking shit than they put out in that fight.
Just because you add a Hall of Famer to your team don't make it's gonna make you better. I promise you that. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes coaches, you don't have to be a Hall of Famer to be a good coach, man. To be a great coach. You don't have to be. You know what I mean? There's guys out there that just, that's what their calling is. To be great coaches, have that great eye. Anyways, I didn't see any improvement in Ryan. And I didn't see any improvement in Ryan. I didn't see any improvement in Haney whatsoever. But let me go back to Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia don't want to be a fighter. All Ryan Garcia wants is the money. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you already know that. And Ryan didn't even want the Devin fight either. He didn't want the Devin fight, bro. That showed me last night. What he did last night, bro, not even stepping on the gas and attempting to throw one combination the whole night, bro. Are you kidding me? Like, he didn't want the Devin fight. He didn't want to revisit that. Devin, yesterday, I felt like he didn't want the fight either with Ryan Garcia. The way he was.
Out of all of the nights, I don't remember in the Haney fight, out of all of the fights, though, I only saw one timidity warning. And that timidity warning came in the Canelo fight, and it came late, like the 11th round. I'm like, bro, you needed to be doing that in the 4th or 5th round.
Was fighting how scared he was. PTSD is a real thing in boxing. It's a real thing. And I felt that's what I saw with Devin, watching him run around the ring. Man, I was like, damn, did this dude, I said, did he train with Usain Bolt? Who the hell he trained with? I said, he running around this ring like he crazy. I'm like, yo, settle your feet down, bro, and grow some balls, man. Grow some balls and stand there and jab and make sure back this guy up off of you. But nah, man, like, look, I take so much, bro. I was so angry after watching that, bro. I waste my time watching that last night. Waste my time. And Teofimo Lopez, okay, he did his thing. He did his thing. But, Teo, you could have stopped Buddy. You could have stopped Buddy. Buddy was scared of you, bro. You could have stopped dude. You could have stepped on the gas a little bit more, but you want to play the safe route too. You want to secure your win. It was easy.
Yep.
I saw you in there playing, you being Gordo in there, but dude, you could have stepped on the gas too and could have went forward and could have, brought some attention to the show. Oh, good boxing, tremendous, but there was more that he can do too.
And I'll say this about Ryan Garcia. The realest Ryan Garcia I ever saw is after he got knocked down and after he got beat by Rolly at the press conference. That just showed me you're not crazy, pendejo. You're stupid. You want the ire of the people. You want people to fucking be disgusted with the shit that you say and do. At the end of the day, what you say and do don't matter. What matters is what's in the ring. That's what matters.
I'm saying ain't nobody off the cuff. Everybody. That whole show is trash. All the fighters on there, they don't have the passion, bro. They don't have the desire, bro.
I agree.
At all. Everybody is spoiled. nowadays. These fighters are all spoiled. And it's all to y'all man that y'all love. All to y'all owe it to y'all man that y'all love. All those guys out there, all the people that love this man.
Talking about the turkey.
That
Y'all
man
to
being
them.
Turki Alalshikh?
I ain't say nothing.
Okay.
I ain't say no names, but I'm just saying, spoiling these guys, man. These guys are making way too much money, and I get it. Y'all say, oh, wait, money. Bro, to get that, those type of performances, bro, come on, bro. No passion, no drive, no hunger. Fighters are whack, straight up whack. All of them, straight trash, whack. That was horrible to watch yesterday, man. I was so angry, man, and you can still see I'm still angry about it.
You think?
Because
I think so. I think he's a little pissed off. I think Tim Bradley's a little upset.
I'm like, oh, that wasn't no boxing event. That wasn't a boxing event last night, man. That was quote unquote entertainment. That was the only thing that was attached to that. Entertainment. But no boxing event. That wasn't no real boxing event. Who the fuck shows up in a car, bro?
Yes.
Who?
And that's what I want to.
And he says, they don't use it as an excuse. Salutes to them. They didn't come up with no excuses, no bullshit. Ryan Garcia and his coach. But they said, man, he was too long in that car, cooling off. And he said the fumes of the car was crazy. It's an uncomfortable situation. You want to get warmed up. You want to get out to the ring. The Sheik got to stop the show. He don't know how to do the show. The show is all. Who gives a fuck about a Batmobile from 1989 right now in a boxing match, bro? I don't give a fuck. What are we doing? Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. He sat around in a fucking car waiting, and they say, yeah, he was cooling off in there. Stop it. Turkey, stop. Let Dana do that shit. Dana streamline that shit.
Who does that, bro?
The whole event was just bizarre. It seemed like
it was
from the no fans being there, no
all the
recognized
above.
media
Exactly,
being there,
bro. Because
everybody
it was a flex.
shut out.
It was a flex, bro.
It was a flex
in New York.
I agree. It's these guys are spending money and they're taking whatever spot on the world. If they want to do it in Alcatraz, if they want to do it in Times Square, they're saying this is my living room. I'm gonna throw these fights. Yes, give us the fights we want to see. Cut the bullshit. Don't kill the sport over it. You know.
New York's face, bro. That was a straight up flex, man. That's what that was. Straight flex. Look what we can do. It wasn't about the fighters.
Facts.
The fighters were pawns. That's all it was about.
Facts.
The fighters were pawns, bro. The real agenda, you don't know the real agenda. But at the end of the day, I'll just say this, man. I never want to see something like that ever again.
Yeah, me either.
I never want to see something like that ever again. If you fighters are not passionate about being the best out there, bro, don't get in the ring. Don't get in the ring, please. Don't get in the ring. Save my time, bro. That was so damn disappointing, bro. You wasted my time last night, bro. I was angry watching that. Trash. Anyways.
From one show to the next, Canelo Alvarez tonight, maybe to save the show, maybe to save the weekend.
But that's last night was all for this. Canelo. Then you had to buy both of them. $90. Got you. Oh, you getting a hell of a deal. It was all geared towards Canelo tonight. That's what it was all geared towards. These dudes is...
And guess what? They did not save the day. They did not save the day. All right? It did not happen. Boxers are too spoiled now. That Cuban that ran all night made $3 million for running around, smiling. Hey, Canelo, look at me. You can't touch me. Look. What the fuck?
Again, sacrificial lambs. They weren't great fights. Terrible fights, man. So, hey, look, man.
Say Canelo tonight.
Hopefully a knockout win. Give me some love. Good to see you. Hopefully a knockout win, because he's supposed to. He's supposed to knock Buddy out.
This is my friend.
Yeah, good luck with that. Never happened.
Okay,
Good to see you. Goodbye. Goodbye. He's supposed to knock this dude out. Buddy's supposed to be knocked out. Cuban fight, man. Look, man. I know the Cubans gonna get mad, but man, name one guy, a Cuban out there that's fired. Name one guy that's fired.
That's an active Cuban, I mean.
I'm talking about amateur. This ain't amateur. I'm talking about the pros. The pros. The pros, man. So I'm like, bro, that style of fight versus Mexican style or
Well,
American
shit,
style.
I'd love to hear what Tim Bradley had to say after the Canelo fight. God damn. JP said Saudi Arabian Higa kept getting up ringside in front of the group of his boys. Looked like he wanted to get in the ring. Bruh, that's the turkey. He walks up to the ring and he bangs on the apron and shit. Sit your ass down, man. I don't care that you paid for this. Go play your position. Be a businessman. Fuck is wrong with you? They've given him honorary belts in the ring. It's crazy. They don't want none of that shit. They don't want the show to go on and the people to be happy at the end of it. Dana's disgusted if there's a shit show. Disgusted. You know?
Bro, we dominate. Canelo's supposed to dominate this Cuban tonight. That's what he's supposed to do. Now, you got Lara. Okay, I'll give you Lara. Lara's still relevant. You know what I'm saying? Still a champion, this and that and the third. Yeah, I get all of that. Okay, cool. We got one. So,
Other than that, I'm not impressed largely.
It was a package deal. Look, I got him.
I'm not impressed. You had Rigo. Where he at? Ramirez. Just recently. Where he at?
From one big-time show to Sunday's big-time show, the monster, in a way, we just weighed him in right now. He looked sharp. He looked sharp at the weigh-in, at the workout in L.A.
I didn't get to see it. I got to see highlights. The Inoue fight saved the weekend.
Hey, what's your expectation for the monster as he invades Las Vegas?
Look, come watch a real fighter. Watch a real fighter on Sunday. Someone that's passionate about the game. Someone that actually, they do this, and they do this for real. They don't play. They do it for real. If you don't belong in the ring with me, you're going to get knocked out. Plain and simple. That's what you're going to see. If Cardenas doesn't belong in the ring with Inoue, he going to get knocked out. And I know a lot of people don't know Cardenas and stuff, and I saw the fight too, and I saw him, I looked at his resume and stuff. The dude can fight.
He got lightning in both hands.
He got a little power.
He
got
used
a little power,
it.
counterpuncher, but he ain't on Inoue's level. Absolutely not. He's not on his level. And at this highest level, you're going to need more than just luck, especially when you're facing a guy like Inoue.
Before we leave real quick, Tim, I know you got to get going. I just want to revisit the trajectory for the winners of last night's fights. Teofimo, Lopez, what's your expectation for him going forward?
I don't care. I don't care what's next for Teofimo Lopez. Don't give a damn. I don't care what Ryan Garcia need to go ahead and just hang him up. Hang him up. If you can't beat Ramirez, you can go hang him up. Hang him up. Straight up. You got outboxed by a dude that don't really know how to box.
Damn.
You've been doing it from the ground up. Think about that, from the ground up, bro. A dude that started boxing at 17 years old just whooped your behind, bro. Come on, man. Terrible. Then who else? What's that boy name?
Ramirez.
Oh, and Ramirez. Oh, it's time. Hang him up, Ramirez. It's time. It was like your legs weren't working, neither was your hands, huh? Your fists weren't working. I'm like, what are you doing? Throw a punch. Cut off the ring, buddy. Haney. Haney, too. Come on, man. What the hell was you doing in there, man? I didn't know what the hell Haney was doing.
I talked with Bob Arum. I watched the fight
Anyways,
with
am
Bob
I
Arum.
going the right way where the fighter meetings are?
I watched the fight with Bob Arum last night.
Boy, it
Bob
was in the
said
track
that-
meet.
Bob said that all those guys are big underdogs versus Boots.
Yeah. Huge.
So we gotta stop.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Huge.
All right, Tim.
That's a serious dude right there. He is a serious dude. Keep improving on your defense, though.
Appreciate you.
Got the Boost Ennis endorsement. Get it. They all kissed his ass with his excellency. Get the fuck out of here. This is boxing, motherfucker. Yeah. Miss me with the excellency. Just put on the fights you want to see and miss me with the long show and it got to be 5 hours of cars driving bullshit.
All right, guys. I'm here in the Bahamas, disrupting my vacation because I just have to speak on the 11 fights that I just saw with no knockouts. I mean, look, let's give credit where it's due. I think Rollies, congratulations. You came out and fought. Had a great win. I'm happy for you. Really am. You're a nice kid. Teofimo was the only one that probably came out and tried to entertain the fans with what he had to work with, you know? And I feel bad for Turkey. I really do. He's paying all this money to the fighters, okay? To turn out, to show up and fight and give the fight fans what the fans deserve. And those are great fights. Show up.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for him. It's like, listen, man, if you waiting in a Batmobile with your top fighter on the card, I don't feel sorry for you. If you wanted to show off, you showed off. Your boys didn't do their thing. You know, they didn't. I don't know if you didn't give them enough incentive or what. You know?
Not just dancing around like Bill Haney and Devin Haney. I mean, my gosh, he was tagged a couple of times by Ramirez, and he just gets on his bicycle and just starts running for his life. Jesus. Anyway, he's done. Canelo. Jesus, Lord. Come on. You're getting paid all this money to fight against a runner who we all knew was going to run, a Cuban style. You chose him. And now you say you hate fighting runners? Well, then don't fight runners. We all know who we want to see you win against. That's Benavidez. Go up against Benavidez. Fight Benavidez. He won't run. What's wrong with that? It's a good fight.
Oscar's such a dickhead. He's such an asshole.
But it's sad. It really is. You know, it starts from the top, too. I mean, when you're fighting for the money and not legacy, every young fighter just follows that pattern. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the organizers, the people putting up the money, the promoters, you know. The fans especially. The fans want to see good fights. Let's go. It's the fighters' job to give the fight fans good fights. It's teed up for everybody. Turkey's bringing out his wallet and paying everybody. And
that he did do that. He teed it up. He teed it up probably too well for them.
The least we can give them is good fights. Go out there and fight. Anyway, I had to do this improv clapback, if you want to call it. I'm just frustrated. I'm frustrated. But, hey, we got Crawford.
Because here's the problem. It was like there was an epidemic of bad boxing this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if it was one or two fights, that's one thing. But when you have a 3 main event card, and then one of the biggest boxers in the world the next day, and it turns out like this, what a shit show of a weekend.
Canelo.
I really salty I didn't watch the MMA card. I should have. It would have been more excitement, more enjoyable, but we got more content out of this, I guess.
We got Crawford, Canelo. I'm looking forward to it. Even though they're both almost 40, I'm looking forward to it. Because it's a good matchup. But just show up and fight, please. Show up and fight.
Robert Garcia in partnership with Play Undisputed, available now on PS5 and Xbox. Coach, fresh back from New York.
That's right.
I seen you with your bag and still might have your things in the throat. Here you are, big fight again tonight, man. Talk to us about the event that was in Times Square yesterday.
Look, it was Friday. It was a different event, you know, different than what we're used to. Different than what we're used to. You know, we're used to, you know, the big arenas, you know, locker rooms and stuff like that. It was just weird, you know. It was a small corner where they put the ring, like 200 seats only. It was blocked off for the crowd. The locker rooms were in the hotel 2 blocks away. It was weird. It was weird. But just a different experience, you know. It was good just being part of it.
So just a different kind of a setup than we're...
See, that's too much. I don't want one of these special... I will say this, and I'm not making excuses for them. That whole shit could throw your game off. You're used to performing with an arena that gives you energy. You got 200 jerk-offs and ass kisses in there? Huh? You're outside, your locker room is 2 blocks away? You're crawling over there in a Batmobile? What are we doing? It's too much, bro. Put it in a fucking arena. It's an arena sport. You know what I mean? Put the ring in the middle, people in the bowl. Done deal. Why are you overcomplicating shit? Because you want to spend money? Because you want to spend bread? Throw some of that bread over here. We'll throw you some good ideas.
We're normally used to seeing
100%.
where things are right there. The doctors check in and check out. Everything's different. I heard there was a little bit of confusion with some footage that was out about Jose in an ambulance. What's going on with that, Coach?
Bill Haney,
was Jose injured?
Look, I've always said it, and before the fight and after.
So evidently Ramirez was in a picture of Ramirez in a ambulance was circulating after the fight. I guess Bill Haney tried to give credence to it.
The fight, you know, I've always talked to go to the. I've always said it, and before the fight and after the fight, you know, I've always talked to go to the Haneys. They've always given me nothing but respect. But for Bill to post a picture of Jose in the ambulance after the fight and saying something like they hurt him and they had to send him to the hospital, he knows he's lying to himself. He knows he's lying to the world, and that's what disappoints me because he's a grown man. He's not a kid. He's a grown man, and he knows exactly that there was no locker rooms in that arena because it was a small corner. It was in the street. The locker room was in the hotel 2 blocks away. So they clearly told us in the rules meeting after the fight, every fighter is gonna go back to the street, and then we're gonna have ambulance. And they're all gonna go into the ambulance and be checked by the doctor.
It's just like that.
The problem is the ambulance didn't have shit to check because these motherfuckers didn't touch each other. You know what I'm saying? So what the Shout out your vid sucks. He said if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. What are we doing? Too much. Doing too much. That could have easily thrown them all off their game. They're sitting there fighting for a bunch of circle jerks in the street. What? Oh, because they thought it would be dope to see them show up in New York City taxi cabs in the Batmobile. Batmobile? Are we promoting a Batman movie, or did you just had a guy that had a Batmobile? Shut the fuck up. We don't need none of that shit. It's just crazy.
Just like they do here. Right now, right here, my fighter, right now, our Barrera, just won by knockout.
Right.
He still goes to the back and sees the doctor. Every fighter does that in every single fight. Everybody should know that.
Absolutely.
Every fighter does that. He goes and sees the doctor, they clear him and everything, they go to their locker room. So right there in New York, every fighter went to the back, to the ambulance, the doctors checked them, they released them, we get in the car, and the car drives us to the hotel. That's exactly what happened. And he knew that was going on. So I don't understand why he's trying to, that means he's lying to himself. You know, Bill, he's a grown man.
He's definitely lying to himself.
He's not a kid. Why are you trying to lie to the fans, to the crowd? You know, instead of apologizing for the type of fight that your son did. Ran and ran and ran and ran. You know, I'm not saying, you know, it would have been a much better fight if he would have fought with my father, and maybe he would have beat my father. You know, but at least do something, you know, don't try to lie to the crowd and say, oh, you still hurt him and you sent him to the hospital, because that's not true. That's not true. And when I see him I'm gonna tell him, I'm not gonna fight with him, but I'm gonna tell him, why you have to lie to the crowd when you know exactly what happened. You know exactly everybody had to be checked by the doctor. And
I mean, Robert, if you want to fight with him, you could fight with him. You was a fighter. He don't know how to. Bill Haney don't know.
Ambulance.
Coach, how frustrating is it to go up against a fighter that moved around the way that Devin Haney did? What can you do to tell a guy? How can you box a guy that doesn't necessarily look like he wants to box?
Well, look, you know, he's coming off a beating. Let's be real. He's coming off a beating, so that was the best way to. They thought that was probably the best way to do it. I don't know. That was the game plan. They brought in Shane Mosley to help him. Shane Mosley's a warrior from Southern California. Man, Shane Mosley was never in those type of fights. Shane Mosley was a fighter. So I don't think Shane Mosley was probably disappointed. I don't think Shane Mosley told him to fight like that. They brought in Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley's a warrior from Southern California. Shane Mosley grew up in Southern California, where fucking fighters fight. And he used to fight. He fucking gave us beautiful fights. Shane Mosley, that was not Shane Mosley's style. So Shane Mosley didn't tell him you gotta box. He boxed because he was afraid to get hit. And his dad was afraid for his son to get hit. That's why they ran and ran and ran. Because that wasn't even boxing, that was running. Look, he's lucky because he broke record in less punches landing and less punches thrown. He's lucky Canelo's opponent did the same thing, and they beat they beat him. They beat that record, Canelo and Canelo's opponent. Because what's Canelo supposed to do when the opponent keeps running and keeps?
Did they beat that record? That'd be funny as if they... Everybody's shit show was outdoing everybody else's shit show.
Running. There's nothing a fighter could do. You know, you could try to cut the range, you could try, but it's almost impossible.
Do you think that there should be, in wrestling, because I wrestled for years, there's a caution for stalling? When a guy's not engaging, the ref will stop the match and tell you, hey, I'm giving you an official warning.
Yeah, none of the referees did their job in that regard as far as I'm concerned.
For a caution for stalling, encouraging the player or the wrestler in that matter to mix it up. Do you think that something like that should be installed in boxing?
There's no rules, but the ref could do it. We've seen it done before. Refs have done it where, hey, give me a fight. You know, guys got to fight. But everybody already knows Haney and Ryan, you know, so they, you know, it was gonna, we were not gonna be able to do that because it was pretty much already set up for.
Now here's the thing Robert's not saying. Wasn't it Robert's fighter that Haney was fighting? Well, Haney had 70 punches. That means Robert's fighter had 40 punches. So
Haney and Ryan to meet each other. Ryan ended up losing too. But, you know, I think that was, you know, pretty much...
What was your reaction to that? Romero
was happy for Rollies, you know.
Beating Ryan by decision.
I don't know Rollies personally. You know, I went against him with one of my fighters, Ramirez, a few years ago. The whole world... The world thought Martinez beat him, but that's fine. You know, Rollies is still a good dude. I see that he's a good character in boxing, and I was happy for him. I was happy that he became champion. He's now a 3-division champion, and he's got bigger things coming for him. So I'm happy for him. You know, what I talked to Brad Guman, and Brad Guman tells me that he's a great kid. So you know, I gotta respect that too. You know, I never really talked to him or hang around with him, but I heard, you know, from Brad Guman that he's a great kid. So I'm happy for him.
We were in the Top Rank headquarters with Bob Arum and the crew. They hosted us. We watched the fight with Fight Hub in Top Rank. One thing that stuck out with me, Bob Arum was particularly disgusted with the actions or with the way that the fight with Devin Haney went. Just basically saying that these guys don't want to fight.
They don't want to fight. They don't want to fight. The old man's not wrong. For all the horrible things that Bob Arum is, the motherfucker knows what he's looking at. He's been looking at it for 100 years. Turkey should have paid the refs more to apply pressure. Facts.
The other day when I interviewed him, saying basically they just want to take from the sport, that they're not really there to give anything back. What was your thoughts on that?
It's true, 100% true. Look, the commentators during the fight, you know, obviously I was there live, but everybody on the phone tells me that the commentators were not saying nothing good about Haney either. So it's just one of those performances where the boxing fans are not happy with that performance, and then they come out trying to excuse themselves, we still send him to the hospital. That's bullshit. That is bullshit.
What about Teofimo Lopez? The only guy that everybody said that he looked better. He looked good. He kind of looked more like himself. What do you think about Teofimo?
Yeah, I think Teofimo had a good performance. Barboza, I think should have tried a little bit more, a little bit harder, just to go out there and, man, so what if you get hurt or if you get knocked out? Just go out there and give it your best. You know, that's the way sometimes we think as Mexicans. You know, the heart and this and that. But I think Teofimo looked good. He looked, you know, he was boxing good, landing good punches, counter punching good. I think Teofimo looked good. I think Teofimo has a bright future. He's a great fighter. So I think he's got big fights coming up for him.
But again, a shit weekend of boxing. Salute to the MMA fighters that did their thing. Hopefully I can catch the replays of those fights in the coming days. Shout out Primo Turkey. If you're watching this, hire me for some matchmaking. I'll take 2 oil wells as payment, motherfucker. Here's the thing, the matchmaking is good. They're making the good matches. It's not like these guys' styles is what's canceling each other out. It's just motherfuckers is eating too good. Alright? Hopefully they get it all figured out because that shit was horrible. That's my take on the weekend of boxing. It was horrible. I told y'all on Friday night when I spoke to y'all, I watched those fights standing up and fell asleep 3 times. So that just tells you how bad that was. And the next night, thought Canelo and Scull were going to save the day, and same old shit show. But we'll see what the talk is like in the coming days, and we'll pay attention to it. All the fighters, they sitting up. None of them, nobody concussed. Everybody's face is feeling good. Ambulance ain't had nothing to do. Everybody was gravy, baby. So it is what it is. Just another day in the combat sports game.